Good evening, everyone. It's Paul Daniels here again for what I fix daily, nightly, take your pick, I don't care, whatever. This is the last machine of the day that I'm aware of before I sit down after midnight to a bit of programming or something like that. This one's come in, was working, and then just progressively got harder and harder to turn on. Until it stopped working completely, and that was naturally when the person needed to submit all their tax information. So, perfectly timed computer. Just like never let a printer know when you really need to get a report printed out, it will fail. Now, this is an old machine. It's got a Vista sticker on it. I doubt it's even Core2. It's definitely, I'm pretty sure, predating Core2. I've got parallel ports, serial ports. Yeah, I wonder if the USB is even USB 2. Okay, so let's have a look. See what's going on. I'm thinking, holy crap. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't think this has ever seen a day of cleaning from the day it was purchased. It's got IDE, DVD drive, it's probably CD drive. Holy dooly. Oh, you gotta have a look at this. Let's see if I can get this right. Oh yeah, check out that fan. That looks real good there. Looks like the Adams family has been living in here. Impressive stuff. Well, I guess I might be needing the vacuum cleaner in there. But, well, that'll explain the shutting down after a little while, particularly with the CPU fan looking like that. Let's see, looks like it's a free spinner. Let's see if it actually tries powering up or anything. It could still have a power supply issue, like bad caps. Wouldn't one bit surprise me if a machine this age. When she fires up, let's see if I've got the right. Come on, give me analog input. I haven't heard a beep, and I've got nothing coming out. So, yeah, we've either got a bad power supply or a bad cap on the main board, something like that. The question is, what's going to be the most economical option to take, and also what's going to be the most fun option to take? Because maybe I just feel like doing something a bit different for a change. And oh, great. This has actually been built properly, and there's a second set of screws on the other side. Bravo. Not very often you see low-end computers with both sides of the hard drive screwed in. Usually the techs are too push for time, so they go along and leave one side out rather. I better make sure I rotate this out a little smoothly. Obviously I'm taking the hard drive out for data preservation purposes. There's a reasonable chance that this hard drive will be on its last legs, and as it is, cable ties are being the bane of my existence again. Come on. Whoever assembled this machine actually did a really good job. They've done it clean. They've crimped up the IDE cable a bit, but that's nothing really to be worried about. I'd be happy to have this person build machines for me. That was a bit rough. What do we got? 160 gigabytes. What a size. I'll put that through the DD rescue later, once I've done with this. The person hasn't asked for anything in that respect, but again, it's just all precautionary measures, especially with a machine with this old. Alright, I think we will now engage the vacuum cleaner. Alright, now obviously that's not an extensive clean out. If it was daylight, I would actually take it outside, give it a blowout with the vacuum cleaner. I just put the hose on the other side of the industrial cleaner and ends up being an excellent blowing source. Just the other day I used it and yeah, I didn't do it outside. I thought I'd be cheeky, do it inside, and oh my god, I choked real hard on that blow. So anyway, plenty of dust there, but that's not what we care about. We're just going to see what might be holding this down. Just going to don't care about the DVD, CD player probably, whatever. In terms of economics, really, probably the best option is throw this away, put it, clone the drive onto a virtual box, or see if the software maybe run on Windows 7 or something like that. Caps look a bit sus. There's one down here, and it's just slightly bulging. These ones are bent over a little bit, but I suspect that's just, are you bulging or are you just the light? You're just the light. Tricked me. I guess the easiest thing here really to do is just put another power supply on. The only trouble is there's a slight pain in the ass because I've got to get under here. Take that out. What are you holding by screws? Thank goodness. Wasn't sure whether I was going to encounter hidden screws or slash my wrists with those sharp metal edges. Alright, get you guys out of the picture. Okay, I could put my power supply tester rig on to the outputs of this power supply, the one that we're not sure about, but quite honestly it's just easier and more convincing to plug one of these in. Because you never know, I mean the other one, it might give what looks like a reasonable reading but still not work. What am I missing? Probably nothing, just paranoid. Keyboard in. I know I've still got the clock battery out, but wrong one. Power goes up here, you silly dingbat. Automatically powers up. Do we get a beep? There's a buzzer on there, but we're not getting a beep. Oh, we got power up. Okay, so that's the power supply. Alright, that solves that. Yes, the firmware has detected that the CMOS battery has failed. I'm not surprised. Let's see, what is this one? I mean, I know what it is, 2032, but yeah, there's no date code on it. We'll just assume it's no good, especially at that age. And we'll just add one from our pile of fresh batteries. Let's turn you off. That's of course why it powered up automatically. because the CMOS battery is missing, and a lot of them do tend to auto boot like that, auto turn on. If you're wondering, the main board is an Intel one, Intel desktop board, which is probably why it survived the test of time. Yeah. Maybe it is a Core2Duo, not sure. Can't really tell without opening up. I suppose I should have looked at the BIOS when I booted. Alright, we will replace this power supply, and then, for fun, I am going to open up the old one and have a look and see what's wrong with it, and see if I can fix that. Like I said, strictly for fun. There really is no point doing it for money, not when you can get power supplies for $40. So unless you can do the repair in 10 minutes and replace maybe 2 caps, you're gonna lose. Especially at this sort of thing. I mean, this is like a super generic. Let me guess, I can't get that out without this thing's got a top deck. It does indeed. What a nice case. Where are you heading off to? I have no idea. Oh, there's speakers on the front. I remember when those sort of things were popular. Alright. As usual, a nice, perfect fit. Always a good sign. Oh, and for people worrying about the static generated by the vacuum cleaner, this is the northern tropics here. There's a huge amount of moisture in the atmosphere at the best of days, but more importantly while these machines are all assembled like this and circuit boards are all together and parts on the circuit boards, their tolerance to static is actually exceptionally good. The old days of super delicate CMOS parts back from the 70s and 80s, they're mostly behind us. And there are still some parts I have to handle with quite a bit of delicacy. But really, assembled boards, they're whopping great big ground planes, high input capacitance, things like that. You'd be very, very lucky to blow a board. Almost something worth boasting about in some ways. Okay, how the hell am I going to do this? These things... These modern, or I should say more recent, power supplies usually only come with one Molex. You are an ugly, look at that. Looks like English teeth. I say so. That's rather insulting. Yeah, well, I'm English anyway, just Australian born. So does that mean I'm allowed to insult my own kind? Oh, for goodness sake. Bloody Molex. The only reason they picked these connectors when they originally designed these things back in the 80s is because they were cheap. Cheap. What the fuck? Sorry, excuse my language. that sounded a bit interesting. Alright, you can go there. Well, I feel a bit bad now because I do not believe I am going to get this cable routing quite as beautiful as the person who did it originally. Like I said, I was impressed by how they did it. Did you come out the front? I think you came through the front. I actually enjoy working on these older machines. I enjoy dealing with them when they're broken down like this, because they're I don't know, they're a lot easier to work on, and all you're really doing is I'll just hang on there a second. All you're really doing is giving them a bit more life, restoring them. I suppose maybe that's why old radio restorers like what they're doing. The old Bakelite and valve radios. I admit though, I find those things a bit unnerving. Not because the electric's in all of them, but just that smell of the old Bakelite smell. The degeneration of it. I don't know. What does Bakelite degenerate into? I think it's formaldehyde or something like that. Needless to say, it knocks me for some reason. I get all the heebie-jeebies. This bloody fan does not want to come off. And I have a legitimate phobia of trying to get this fan, so I can't get down into that. Let's try this. I have nightmares about... there we go. Trying to get one of these things off, slipping and my fingers going across those radiator fins. Oh, jeez, I shouldn't have done that. That makes me sick. Alright, so we've got some more cleaning there. I haven't died, I didn't slash my fingers, so here we go, back again. God damn, that's sharp in spite of its age. That's quite a bit better. I'll have to, God forbid, I'll have to cable tie those down. Okay, new CMOS batteries in. That keyboard. Where's my boot stick? Boot stick, baby boot stick. Alright. Oop. Bit of grinding there because I haven't finished my job properly. Just listen to see if I can hear anything. Half the fun of being a partially deaf bastard is that you miss out on a lot of things. Like, hey, your power supply is screeching. And you're like, really? I didn't hear that. Hey, your power supply is squealing like a maniac. It's going to blow its primary input caps. And of course, when it does blow, I'll hear it. But until then, no. I actually tried many times to join the Air Force, but in spite of using a couple of different names, they'd always get me because as soon as it came to the hearing test, well, I was useless. Their reasoning is I wouldn't hear the start-up of an engine, so I'd lose my head. Which, yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. And a good thing I didn't join in the end, but not that I didn't try. Would have loved to have been a pilot, though I guess maybe we all have our interesting dreams as youngsters. And I will be honest and say I'm actually very happy with where things are now. Alright, we're posting 40 degrees on the CPU, so that's a little high for me. I'd say that it's possible the CPU paste is maybe maybe I'm just being pedantic here. What have we got? Oh, it is a Core2Duo. Core2Duo 4300, 1.8 gigahertz. How much memory we got in this? Got a whopping 1 gig of memory. What I might do is see if I've got any spares floating around and give them a bit of a boost. I'm just not sure. Is this DDR2 or DDR1? Not sure. I think I'm just being pedantic about that temperature. I think 39, 37 is perfectly acceptable for an idling Core2Duo. Yeah, the good old DDR2. Well, you know, first one out, that's a 1 gig. And that's a 1 gig. I probably should match up the speeds though. Oh, 2 gig. I'll blow them away. 2 gig 800. Oh, a completely different machine. Let's see, piece of 2. I'm actually going to go with 2 sticks of 1 gig. I have a feeling in the future I might need those 2 gigabyte ones. That should come. Obviously I'll run mem test on these, since they are obviously pulls from existing machines. The last thing you want to do is put dud memory in someone else's. Oh, come on, where's the button? Oh, there we go. For some reason, MEMS test 86 doesn't like running on this particular box, but it's not all over yet. I do have my sysrescue version, which sometimes works when my main I can't speak, when my main one doesn't. Oh, looks like we've got a boot error on that USB stick, so that's pretty much the end of that. I'm not going to waste excessive amounts of time there trying to prove something. What I'll do is I'll clone that hard drive and then put it back into here, test everything runs, the software runs, things like that. I'll see if I can find a Windows memory tester, and it should be good. And if anything horrible goes wrong, I've got the backup, so that's why I keep these clones of the drives, usually for about 2 weeks. Alright, so that's everything done for tonight, at least on this. I'm going to clean it up tomorrow. I mean, I've got some time to stuff around while I'm waiting for the first customers to come in. And I will do the power supply inspection in another video so that this one doesn't drag on for too long. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you're wondering about any of the things I use, the parts or things I'm planning on getting, like the microscopes and new hot air stations, or including the one I have actually already got at the moment, just check down in the links, all the information's there, and if you've got any queries, just send me a message. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.